you could use a little bit of assistance with these tense times that we're transitioning through. I offer several different levels of astrological services, all of which are available through my astrological services page with new special offers that are being put forward each week. If you'd like to schedule with me or just want further information, you can find that at the link that you'll see above. So here you are at a very particular fork in the road. And it's one of those very perplexing forks in the road where you can't figure out which direction it is that you need to go in. About the only thing that you can really feel certain of is that you have to take action soon. It's like you're walking the razor's edge in regards to a particular situation in your life. And one step in either direction too far, and I think you get the general idea. It feels really tense. And the more you think about that level of tension, of course, the greater it expands, the deeper you go into it, and the greater the level of the pressure that you feel in regards to the situation that you're dealing with. So you know that something has to happen soon, and that something is weighing pretty heavily on your shoulders, and you feel like you're the one who has to be responsible for it. Nobody's going to support you in this change, or at least that's what you feel. You may be feeling that everybody, even the universe, everything has deserted you. And this is all up to you. And that's a tremendous amount of weight to feel on your shoulders. What do you think might be the meaning of that weight on your shoulders? So let's analyze this a little more deeply. When you feel, well, for lack of a better way to put it, the weight of the world weighing upon you, and you feel like, hey, it's down to me. And it's down to me to do something, only I don't know what that something is. I just know that something has to change. And hey, it's down to me. So that can make you feel scattered. It can make you feel uneasy. It can make you feel restless. It can knock you off of your space of feeling constant and steady within yourself. The more you get into that space, the more perplexed, the more confused you become about the direction that you really need to head in. So right now, at the time of this particular full moon cycle, we've got the sun in close proximity to both Saturn and Jupiter. And that's creating combustion for those two planets. And that gives rise to this feeling that somehow you're undeserving, or that all of your support systems have completely vanished from your life. And it makes you feel like you're inconsistent in your actions. You might even be judging yourself as being that way. And it's very easy to get all like wrapped up in that self-analysis, or actually, I'd really rather use the word self-criticism in more of a destructive manner, or you can choose to not do that. So when you're in that moment where you're feeling like the responsibility is on you, but you don't really feel like you can handle that responsibility, and that burden feels crushing upon you, and you feel like giving up, that's the moment that you need to do the very opposite thing. Sure, I know what you're saying. You're going, I've been trying that. It hasn't been giving me the results that it's supposed to give. Well, hey, you know what? Sometimes it's not about the results. Sometimes it's about the journey, and it's about the getting there. And there's something that you have to gain through that journey, which is a result that is more enduring than that result that you're trying to seek through your actions. Now you're going, what the hell is he talking about? Okay, so let's go into that a little more deeply, right? You may be going, right, I have to change my job because of this going on, or I have to change my living situation because of this going on, or I have to change my child's schooling because of this going on, or any number of things. And you may feel like, hey, this burden falls on me and it falls squarely on my shoulders, only I haven't a clue in regards to what to do with it. And so you can get all frantic with it, you can get all worried, and chances are you probably are with this particular astrological energy. Or you can do something else, which is you can go, okay, sure, the burden is on me, right? The decision does boil down to me. I have to make this decision. Nobody else wants to make this decision. And you make that decision. So you make that decision, things don't budge. Does that mean you're making the wrong decision? No, what it means is you're developing a greater level of self. I don't want to use determination. I want to use the word self-trust. Because in the midst of you feeling like all of your support systems have vanished, what is that one support system that will never vanish from your connection? Or I want to say your awareness, but sometimes it does kind of fade away from our awareness. And that is that self-support system. And I'm not talking about self-support with a little tiny s. I'm talking about that gargantuan s. And, it's that portion of the universe. It's that portion of, even God, if you will, that's inside of you that gives you the strength, that helps to elevate you out of the most difficult of circumstances. No, it's not that that energy has deserted you and that all of your friends have deserted you. It's the fact that you have deserted yourself because you've lost sight of that and you've let yourself lose sight of it because of a stressful situation, which, hey, does feel pretty damned grandiose. It's pretty big, but it's not bigger than you. And it's not vaster than the strength that you have inside of yourself in order to cope with it. And regardless of the outcome, what you're needing to do at this particular moment is to not get distracted by all the external processes that are going on, right? Yes, it is about the journey, but the journey isn't those external processes. Those external processes are a manifestation of a deeper problem, right? And the way that you have to get to the core of that problem is just by doing your best to stay consistent, doing your best to not lose hope. Even if things start going horribly wrong, you can't lose hope and you can't lose focus. You have to come back to your core, I guess I want to say your core values, your core ethics, and let yourself be guided by those, even if things don't work out on the external plane in the way that you would most like for them to. Again, sometimes it's not about what you're accomplishing outside. What do I mean by that? It's not necessarily about whether you're getting that job or whether you're getting that paycheck or the school that your child is in. Sure, all those things are important. And all those things are things that you have to focus on as your responsibilities over the course of your life. But if you lose the connection with yourself in getting there, you're going to reflect back upon that moment and you're going to go, you know what? I caved in by an overwhelming sense of responsibility. And ultimately, what I did was I relinquished my responsibility for myself. It always comes down to you. It always will come down to you. Does that sound selfish? Yeah, it may sound selfish, but it's not selfish because each of us is here to shoulder our own burden. Some people come along to help us along at that particular moment in time. Those are the connections that are meant to be there. But in those times where it feels solely like it's your responsibility, it's no use sitting and obsessing over how nobody is there for you. There's no use sitting and obsessing about how you might mess it up like uncontrollably. But what there is sense in doing is focusing on what you know is right and taking action in accordance with that. And what you know to be right may be on the surface of it different at every single moment of the evolution of a situation. Go beneath all of that. Go through all of that, scrap heap of surface stuff. And that's what, Jupiter, Sun, and Saturn, and Sravana Nakshatra are asking you to do. Get beneath the surface. Look at the core value that underlies all of those surface core values, which seem to be evolving and changing at every single moment of time. Focus on that. Go to the core. Don't obsess over the rubbish that's in the way while you're, getting to the bottom of the scrap heap and going down into the core of the earth in order to rescue that gem that's multifaceted, but at its essence has one really powerful ray of light shining through it. Be constant. Don't get lost in the inconsistency. The inconsistency is a very innervating, and yes, I want to say a very realistic thing that you're getting caught up in, but it is just ultimately a surface situation that you have a choice in regards to how you respond to. And if you could use a little bit of help in responding to that, I do offer several different levels of astrological service. All of these are available through my astrological services page, which you will find at the link above. That's going to do it for this look at the full moon in Ashlesha Nakshatra, which takes place on the 28th of January, 2021. Until next time, please do take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.